So.
It's not live.
Oh, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Did you hit it?
I sure hit the button.
But you were supposed to check microphone stuff.
Oh, the microphone stuff doesn't need to be changed. It just works now.
Well, I hit this. I guess that's output, so it doesn't matter. While I was trying to move the thing around, the little twisty thing turned, and I didn't know where I turned it to.
Oh. Well, I mean, yeah, but yeah, all's well that ends well. So, good week, everybody. We'll see you next Thursday. Just a minute here. Boink. Let me check that.
Right,
That's good.
I got so focused on getting your computer ready, I'm not
Don't
at all
need
where I'm
that.
supposed to be.
We're gonna do LangTime window. It's yeah. Good. Checking on that poll. Oh, spicy.
What spicy?
The poll.
Oh.
I might actually have to do a little number crunching here. First, let me just make sure that Safari is showing. It looks correct. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to LangTime Studio. For legal purposes, we are distinct from the LangTime Studio out of Langston, Canada.
David.
Yeah.
Don't even. You see, people sometimes take you seriously when you do things like that.
I don't think anybody's ever taken me seriously in my entire life, and it burns me.
I take you seriously, and it burns me because then I find out you weren't serious. Oh, I should probably move my microphone in a little.
Yeah. So, anyway,
Jake, also distinct to there LangTime Studio.
So you're gonna have to give me just a quick second because the poll, like if you look at the two top level polls, it's really a really clear 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then it's totally flip flopped in the Confidant poll. So I just need to see if the margins of the top two are enough to either tie or overturn the results of the bottom poll. So just give me a moment. I'm hoping I don't have to actually download the spreadsheets, that I can just do this with the percentages. I think I can.
I am remembering now what the poll was about.
Oh, I have no idea what this poll is about. I'm going to learn it with everybody else.
It's the comparative options.
We discussed comparison last week?
Oh, I love you.
Boy, oh boy. The things you learn. All right, so just a minute. If that is that is obviously going to be that.
Jonathan wants to know if you remember anything from last stream. I can tell you what he didn't remember right after the stream. He denied that he fell asleep on stream. And I was like, no, you legit fell asleep. And I said something and woke you up. And he was like, nah.
I feel like I remember that as, I remember it differently. I'll just say, thought it wasn't that long.
I mean, I didn't say you slept through the stream, but you did fall asleep. And when I said your name, you were like, what?
Yeah. This one, by the way, this one's my fault. I needed to be better prepared. I needed to pick up the slack for Jesse because Jesse's having a tough day, and I didn't. I blew it. So this one is on me. I'm very, very sorry. Okay, now to do some calculatoring. Okay, all right. So calculators are these new things.
Those are the shields. I was like, where do we have shields? And then I realized that Jake is very clearly talking about these moderator shields. I like it because, like, instead of a wrench, it's like you're not working on the stream, you're protecting the stream. That's what you are as a moderator. You're a protector of all things good.
Okay, so that's over. That's got to be.
Why does Barry get to be in bold? Where is Barry in bold? Oh, I see Barry in bold. You know, Barry's a special person.
Where?
In the conspirators in the document, in the actual document.
Oh,
Barry's name is bolded.
Yeah, sorry, the several other people. So I was trying to decide what to do because, I've just been kind of informally doing these little stars with colors. And it's like, I could have done more colors, but
Because Barry's been here since the beginning.
yeah, Barry's been here since the beginning. So I switched to stars, and then I also decided to bold folks' names.
Oh, yeah, Mateus is bold too.
Yeah, there have been some people that have supported us from the very, very start. And
thank you to you all.
And it's like there are two things that are very, very meaningful to me personally. One are those people that knew me before that supported us and continue to do so, like Veronica and Barry. That felt good since there were so many other conlangers I know who didn't. So that was very nice. And then also, of course, those who didn't know me or Jesse from Adam, like Mateus and Jason, like, honestly.
Yeah, can you imagine not knowing Mateus and Jason? Like, life would not be as rich.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick wouldn't be here at all if you didn't know Mateus.
Indeed.
All right. So then...
And so many others who just I assumed would be in bold because I keep forgetting that like Jake wasn't here in season 1.
Yeah.
Like you're just too epic. You've been here always, Jake.
Yeah. Oh, duh. Because 0% of anything is 0.
It is, David.
I keep forgetting that. All right.
Should I be mathing this?
No. Okay, which means that this has to be that.
Jonathan, you're another person who I always assume you've been here since day one, just because it feels like how did we stream without you? Like, how did we even do that? Nobody deserves to parla. Oh, man. I mean, it's definitely been since pre-Copicon 1, and,
Okay.
That takes us back.
And I'm just sending Bubba a quick message.
Oh. Yes, Bubba sent some predictions, I hear.
Yeah, and Bubba and I did it independently, and we came to the same result. So, yeah, this was a narrow one. So I have to say, good poll, Jesse.
Yay!
Did you put this up?
You put it up. I wrote the things, and
you know what I remember because.
But you put it up after because while you did that, I showered and packed for us.
Because where can we find these right now?
Where I am in the document.
Yeah, because you did something interesting, but it's actually an open question, so I just left it blank. We do have class agreement, so when it's noun modifier, it agrees in class. When you kind of put these out as verbs, you kept the agreement, which is interesting. It's not necessarily something that
you took it away, I noticed.
I did because I thought let's just have it be the bare form so everybody knows, you know what, this is essentially a variable because we don't know what's going on with verbs yet. So that wasn't me suggesting that they shouldn't have agreement. It's just we don't know at this stage. So let's pull out. Okay, now we need to go over a little bit more, I see. All right. So here we have the poll, which is comparison. All right. Yes, there you go. Look, which means Jesse came up with 3 options. They're all fun. They sure are. Okay, so option 1 is no comparison, which I will say did get some votes, but barely any.
Oh.
Barely any. So
It's a really good strategy, and quite a few languages make use of it. And by make use of it, I mean, I guess they don't make use of it. Because there is no strategy. Right. But yeah, a lot of languages don't have a specific comparative structure, and it's just, it's all context and, adding in intensifiers, which means like, it just creates the meaning you want. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the idea here is that you could still have like some intensifier like very, and so there's the furry bat and the very furry bat. And if you put them side by side, the implication is that one is furrier than the other, because if one is furry and one is very furry, then the very furry one has to be furrier than the furry one. Anyway, so this is a very simple strategy in terms of being a conlanger. You don't have to do much, but I mean it's not doing nothing. Like you have to actually write this into your grammar and reframe your thinking. When you go into translation, you have to kind of think this way so you're not thinking like you are with a language that has a comparative like English does. Anyway, so very cool option, did not win. This came down to B and C. So B was going back to our previous poll. One of our options was to combine the non-core and the locative to something having to do with case. I don't remember.
Oh, that was when we were trying to figure out
possession.
Yeah.
Yeah, alienability. That was one option. That option didn't win. So it was Jesse's idea to bring that one back and say, well, it was kind of a cool preposition. What if we just used it for something else? And so in this strategy B, there isn't a comparative specifically, right? Instead, there's just this preposition that means than. And it might enjoy other uses as well. We don't know. We'll see. But basically, you just say, furry bat, squirrel than bat, and it implies that the squirrel is furrier than the bat. Okay, so that was a really good option. Option C was some new construction, same syntax. So this was just about the etymology, I guess.
Because basically I nipped it in the bud to say we are not adding any sort of actual comparative inflection to our adjectives, just based on how they're being used and how they agree and some other things. It just made sense that this language, we're going to skip that. And so, it all became about, how construction-wise would we do this?
Yeah, so we're going to do some verb plus some preposition. And there's actually 2 options here. So one was to use the verb cover, which would go with the preposition E, which was the non-core. The other one, so being like, where it was treating it like an object of the verb to cover. So it covers this thing, and so it goes with E. The other one was to use the verb hover, which is intransitive, and so it co-occurs with the locative preposition, meaning that it hovers over this. And so therefore it's more than this, all right? Those were the 2 options, decided by 1 vote.
Whoa.
1 vote. And I really like both strategies. I really like both strategies. Like I feel like I want to do both, even though that would be totally silly. But anyway, do you have either a guess or a wish?
Um, well, part of me kind of wants B to win because it resuscitates something that you were sad about losing, and
Yeah, that's true.
that would make me happy to resuscitate it.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be done.
Well, guess what, honey?
Is it my lucky day?
He wins by one vote.
Woo!
One vote.
And we can absolutely do the other strategy to just create other preposition like things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, B means we can put it in the document and be like,
We sure
done.
can.
So yeah.
All right. There's our Batlang loaded up on Graham Hill's
I-
amazing Lexergy.
I love that people are claiming the 1B vote. I love it. Anyone who voted for B, you did it. You're the one.
Oh, and poor long-suffering Jonathan. Just over there in Baltimore stewing every week because their choice didn't win. This one's for you, Jonathan. Who voted B for Baltimore. Good morning, John Thor. Is John Thor our favorite?
We'll go with it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's true. Mateus is usually the last one to vote. Oh my gosh, you know what? We could actually prove it because I believe there's timestamps.
If you download the spreadsheet, there are timestamps. Because I used to always download the spreadsheet so that I could get precise numbers. And then when David took over the polls, it became, you can tell. I don't know why I liked giving the precise numbers and being able to see. But it was way more work because I had to download 3 different spreadsheets and compile them into one.
So
silly.
So you know Jesse.
You know Jesse.
I
do know Jesse.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but this was inspired by your idea. Okay. I want you to imagine a future where we've done all the languages we want for our little animals. Whether that's all the animals we want to do, like we got to all the animals, or we decided at a certain point, you know what, they're going to use the Pan Animal Creole, and then we go back to each season. We go to the polls, and we choose a different option, and just develop like this is. Angala A is obviously Angala A. Angala B is going to have one option different. Angala C, and then we set up.
Less traveled.
We set up a essentially conlang venture tree on YouTube. We actually record the whole stream so that viewers can decide which option do you want to win, and then they just watch the stream. Thousands upon thousands of versions of each language.
We'll be very busy for the next 800 years of our lives.
Oh my God. There's been talk previously about how I'm not big fans of quote unquote genre like science fiction and fantasy. I am a big fan, and also I think people get the impression because of what we do and what we've done like on television shows and movies that like I like art langs better than anything else. And I think that and I think a lot of conlangers who've known me a long time know that's not true. I really, really love edgelang projects that have a unique hook, a unique idea. And one of the things I was most excited about from a series that I don't like, Black Mirror, is they worked with Netflix to produce a choose your own adventure movie where you actually used your remote control and could make different choices, and they had filmed all of the options. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Still kind of in the way that Black Mirror episodes are, but I mean, I was so excited about the idea. Like my friend Ken and I watched it, and did some different options, and then at a certain point we're like, man, these are all bad. Is there any positive ending? It turned out there was, and spoiler, it hinges on like the very first decision when there's the main character's a younger boy, and his dad asks him, do you want this or this for breakfast? And basically, if you let it go, at any point in time, if you let it go, it does the first option.
Okay.
So if you either let it go or you choose the first option, you only get bad endings.
Whoa.
The only way to get a good ending is if you make an actual choice with your breakfast and choose the second option.
There's only 2 options?
At that point.
Okay.
There's tons after that. Anyway, I loved that idea, and like even though I didn't watch it again, and like again, I'm not really a fan of Black Mirror. It made me very sad when Netflix decided that it was just going to take it down and not support it anymore, because it's like there's no way to watch it, right? I think it would be brilliant if YouTube implemented something like this. They just said, you know what, we're going to. Because like you can have videos automatically go to a next video, right?
Well, you can also.
I guess you can do it.
You can
can't
put
you?
links
You
on
could
the
do
end
it.
screen to say, click
right.
here for X, Y, or Z.
You're right. You could. And in fact, I'm going to check the comments now. I know I've been chatting, but has anybody ever done this on YouTube? Anybody know?
Yeah, in-screen cards. George is saying.
Okay, so George says people used to do this with end screen cards, so it is possible. Huh.
I feel like we would need to set up a season, because we would have to kind of redo the first season to make it a condensed, more watchable thing. Because otherwise it's like, man, choose an option that the rest of the crew didn't choose. Otherwise you got to watch a whole 2-hour stream for them to get through this one noun thing to get to the next vote. But like if you condensed it and said, here's what we did, and just described and then put the vote, like everything needs to be condensed.
Let me just say, I don't think we should actually do this. You're trying to make it more workable, and good on you for that.
Why'd you bring it up?
I mean, if we really wanted to do something, we could actually do a conlang venture. Like just turn it into a document and says, here were all the votes. What would happen if you chose this?
I just want to imagine our rabbits with a reasonable counting system. And maybe also with a reasonable writing system, because I gotta say that was a really bad writing system for the language structure. It just didn't go.
Yeah.
That language was not vowel focused enough to be such a system.
By the way,
Jake is going to support my dreams.
I will mention, and a fellow I worked on the show Defiance with, Brian Alexander, he felt the pain of this. When we were making Defiance was supposed to be like a television show with a video game, and the idea was that you would get some of the story from the video game and some with the show. And it didn't work at all because the video game people were essentially like, oh, we can't do any of that. It require too much coding. And then the show people were like, no, you don't get any control over our narrative. Like it's just too expensive. But it's like there were some really cool ideas that I don't know if the video game people had them, the show people had them, if Brian had them, but there were some cool ideas that didn't pan out. And so, for example, like one episode revolved around people in game doing enough work to fulfill a goal because there was a vaccine that was needed in the town of Defiance, and it was going to be put together in San Francisco because that's where the game took place. Game was in San Francisco, show was in St. Louis. And so it was like, wow, the players in the game are working to do this thing that to achieve on the show. But it was, first of all, the goal, they set the bar so low that there was really no way that the players were going to fail. And they did that because the show people said, we're not filming two endings that change the way things go, and then waiting for you to see what the players do and deciding which one to air. That's not happening. Basically, they have to succeed. And so then the game people made it so that they succeeded. And so it was something that was potentially cool, was teased as something cool, but it was ultimately just lame, you know? And another thing I thought, even though, so in this case, it wouldn't make sense because the game took place in San Francisco and the show in St. Louis, but there is an election for mayor. That would be so cool. And like maybe it wouldn't happen in game. It would just be if you're a player or if you are a fan, you get like one vote. And people could actually vote who they wanted to be mayor.
Yeah.
And then that would be the result. I think that would be incredible. And Brian Alexander really believed in this too. Really, really wanted to get this stuff to work. He was trying, even though like, you know, he wasn't the showrunner, he was trying to like talk to the video game people and the show people because he was like the only writer that really got video games. And basically he was just hitting brick walls on both sides anytime. Anytime we try to do something really cool. And so ultimately like all that cool stuff that they advertised didn't work out. But it would be cool if it did. Anyway. Okie doke.
So let's write this up, babe.
Yeah, let's write this up. Gonna do that.
Oh, we need to change this example up here in adjective placement because I did agreement and now you're saying don't do agreement.
No, wait. Actually.
So I think it should just be cool. I think it's just cool with no agreement.
No, not necessarily.
Oh.
This is what I want to do. We're just going to make that red.
Okay.
Because yes, this is a possible future for this language where that is correct. Okay.
I just wanted to, have that written in terms of what we had been doing. And so.
Yes. And so we're also probably going to put some, I'm putting it in red, meaning it's not decided yet. We're also going to have some red in the comparison too. But I will write that up.
I'm going to delete this stuff. Like these were all ideas for how we could show class marking.
Yeah.
We're done with that.
Yeah, feel free. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to start this? One thing I don't like about grammars is when they say like, this language doesn't do this, as if you're expecting it to. My famous example is Samoan, where like, I open up Samoan for the first time and it starts with like, Samoan nouns lack gender and they also do not inflect for plural on their own. And it's like, okay, why? Why? And then like
it would be interesting if you knew the language it came from and that language had those features to be like,
it would be,
like that
don't.
would be like for this, why don't you just say to show comparison, LangTime, because we don't have a language name yet.
Maybe we can do that today.
Oh.
Okay. LangTime uses a construction with a specific preposition. Do from a combination of the non-core and locative prepositions. which indicates that.
Oh, Mateus, absolutely. It can be useful in terms of like reminding yourself what, features it has or doesn't have. And so, yeah, like if you don't mention that it doesn't do anything for like an alienability distinction, you may try to search that in your grammar and not find it and then think you just didn't address it. Because in terms of creating a language, absolutely, it's like, did I remember to think through this decision point? And sometimes, yeah, saying it doesn't do something is your way of saying, I did it, so if I search for it later, it'll show up.
Syntactically, the structure. No, not syntactically. Let's say schematically. And you know what would be great?
Bubba suggests writing the sentence, Batlang does not have a base 30 numbering system. Just so we know, we considered base 30 for every language after Ngala. It does not. It does not.
That's how every single grammar starts except for Ngala. And then, of course, Ngala is just normal, and eventually you get to the numbers. Okay. I forget it, and I would like to use the exact terminology used in your book, Jesse, since the terminology is often confusing. Are you laughing at something in chat or something I did?
No, at myself that I'm like, what terms did I use precisely? Because my brain is not going there, and I want to make sure I don't quote the wrong thing. And so I'm laughing at myself, not you.
It's because the terminology started out confusing. And so my hope is if we use your terminology more and more, then that will just become the terms.
Here we go.
Ooh, camel case.
Ooh, I use the word turtle in here a lot. That's really exciting. Quality is the value.
Okay.
The one being commented on is the topic, and the standard is the one providing the point of comparison. So noun 1 would be the topic, and noun 2 would be the standard, because it's a standard of comparison.
Okay. For example, if and what's furry, right?
Meme.
But this is going to be in red. And
because effectively the topic is just who we're talking about, and here we're talking about, I think you did it the other way because I said the squirrel, or sorry, I think I said the bat is furrier than the squirrel, and you did the thing that made more sense to say the squirrel is furrier than the bat because that made more sense. So the topic is going to be the squirrel, which is Kira.
Mateus, you have to tell me when I'm not looking attractive on camera so that I can do something to fix it. That's your official job.
Does everyone notice David's new glasses?
Aren't you wearing your new glasses too?
Yeah, but mine, I don't know. I was more excited about you.
Yeah, we got new glasses.
Mine are very lightweight, and it's very lovely. Ooh, Cinnamon got a copy of
fantastic.
How to Create a Language. Good old Hit Cal. Okay, so anyway, I think squirrel should be the topic. That's how you did it in the example in the poll, and it makes more sense.
Yeah, I keep mixing up which one is which. So what's squirrel?
Cheetah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's.
Don't worry.
I don't. God,
Don't worry.
I'm never gonna do this language right.
And the standard were equal. And it's equal, not equal. No, yeah, equal. Equal, that. And a sentence. Might look like this.
Thena. I like that. Thena, period.
Hmm?
That's what you had typed before you took it away.
Oh.
Thena, period. Mentira, ido, idio, idio.
Okay. Okay. Let's pause there a moment.
Okay.
By the way, like Matthijs there, on the one hand, I'd be happy to assist, but on the other hand, you're asking the Dutch guy to give you tactful hints. It'd also be interesting to just know in general how often it is that Matthijs finds me to be acceptably attractive. Like, I'm imagining I ask Matthijs this, and it's just a constant stream of, nope,
I guess the kind of unfortunate reality in asking someone to help judge your attractfulness is to make sure that they find you attractive on a good day. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
really not going to be helpful
Yeah.
ever. And you don't ask me because I find you attractive far too often in your estimation.
Yeah.
And so you no longer trust my assessment because you don't agree with it all the time.
Yeah. And and if this is me being honest, I think when you say that, it's not that you actually find me physically attractive. It's that you find me like emotionally attractive. And so
But that you
The
hit a
physical
point. You hit a
just
point in a
follows.
relationship with a person where it's like there's no line between the two.
interesting.
Because when you look at that person, you see so much more than physicality. And we are so far beyond that line that I'm sorry, you're attractive.
I mean, not true at all for me, but I get what you're saying.
Anyway,
That's true. I should not be doubting Jesse's taste. Okay.
all right. We've got that written in. You said we were going to take a moment to pause.
I
What?
know.
You know
I
what,
just want a
Kopiko? That's why we should pause.
I just want a sandwich. I always want a sandwich every single moment of the day. Time for a little David Bowie break. Then I laugh like David Bowie when I do that.
Oh, is that his laugh?
It's one of his laughs. He has
Aaron
many.
ran out of Kopiko. Oh no! Oh no!
Aaron expects us to feel sorry for him when it's like, oh, I ran out of the Kopiko I bought from the store 10 minutes ago since I opened them all and put them all in my mouth.
Oh, I understand that though, Aaron, and that's really unfortunate.
Cheers, partner.
Cheers. Wait, are we all frozen? Are we frozen? I don't see us frozen. Oh no. Only Jake is frozen. Oh no.
Oh.
It is a coffee candy. It is. That is its whole shtick, is it is coffee.
Trying to imagine that. Hold on a sec. Oh, Copico. Still coffee?
Okay.
You know, Cinnamon has a very nice pup in their. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Terrier, I believe. You know, most folk in the chat have mammals of one kind or another depicted. It's just Jonathan and Aaron that don't.
There are other people that don't have animals in their thing.
No, I said mammal.
Oh. What about magpie?
No, that's a bird. That's a bird right there.
Not a mammal.
Magpie looking at everybody else's. Oh, another mammal, eh?
Hey.
Ooh, where's our night petrichor?
So see? There's lots of things.
That is an actual pup. Cinnamons Lakeland Terrier named Trouble.
Oh, I do like that. So now you, like, do you always make the joke when your dog is running towards you? Here comes trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have to.
You also make the joke. Trouble is my middle name. So much so that I got rid of my first name.
You could make that joke, David. Okay. Oh, and George doesn't have a mammal either.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Cinnamon.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
Okay. David Drubble Peterson. Yes, that's what the J stands for. Where are we going now, David? Language name?
Yeah, because it's either that or verbs.
Language name.
Hang on.
Go back and find it.
Hang on. Whoo! I cleared that very low bar.
I see that. For Mateus, that's a low bar indeed.
That is as backhanded a compliment as I've had in many a month. Okay. You know, the entire gender system that we have arose from the idea of calling something out during flight, right? This was your idea. I was going to build on that, but maybe not.
It could be, we could have some sort of root meaning sound, and these are the flight sounds. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, something like that, essentially.
I like it. Let's do it, babe. It's going to end in something. Right? Yeah. Oh my God, babe.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get Ngdák in there because the whole thing was supposed to be
Oh my
Ngdák.
God.
So it definitely has to be a night class. I mean, we could just get Ngdák as a form in there.
We could call it Ngdák. No group death at CopyCon. We could just make that the word for language, and it's the language.
But can the K end it?
Oh, sure.
We
Here.
can do that?
Oh, yeah. As a reminder, I'm going to pull up Lexergy for everybody. You know what? I don't need this. Can I minimize? There we go. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't think so anyway. This still goes, right? Yeah, that still goes. I'm just checking to make sure that minimizing that window still allows chat to happen.
Oh. Ngdák.
Ngdák is a good language name that has an extra syllable added onto the end of it.
You want Ngdák?
No, it's the name of George's first language from Tongues and Runes, the dragon language.
Oh, right. Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah. By the way, you can catch Tongues and Runes every Saturday at 6 a.m. over at the Conlangery YouTube channel. Oh, you know what? We didn't explicitly wish Madeline
Happy
a
birthday.
LangTime happy birthday. Yeah. We were, of course, on Madeline's stream on Monday, which is one of Madeline's streams every Monday from 12 to 2 with none other than Jake. That is, I guess it doesn't have a name, does it? They're just working on the Pillar World
Isn't
languages.
it Languages of Pillar World?
Is it Languages of Pillar World? Or is it just like a thing that happens on the channel?
As a side note, there.
Languages
Here.
of Pillar World.
Aaron tutted me for not knowing Ngdák. There we go. But I want to point out that in JW, both David and I have had moments where we're looking at the etymology of a word and we're like, what language is this? And it's one we created. And we've forgotten it. Like, if you don't use a language name all the time, it's so easy to forget.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, a number of times we're looking at things going, huh? Where did this come from?
Yeah. So as you can see, if you just put this form in there, it comes out as Ngdák. It's very, very simple. The only Ngdák against it is that we do have one language that starts with N. That would be Nulisu. Thus far, every single one of our language names has begun with a different Roman letter.
I'm going to say technically this begins with an Angma. What you going to do? We could use the Angma.
Oh, there we go.
And also, Dolores Duck, thank you. It was not super recent. I think it was like a month ago that David cut my hair. No, 2 months now, because it was before we left for Finland.
Yeah.
So it's been a couple months, but David cuts my hair, and yeah, I'm digging this shorter length, and it's actually almost growing out enough that I'm gonna have David trim it again, just because
Yeah.
I've rather enjoyed having this particular kind of length.
Yeah. I liked Jesse's hair long, and so I was initially hesitant, but looked darn good.
Well, thank you. Oh, thank you, Mateus. Oh no, it's also something you don't necessarily always notice. In part because even when I wear it down, I almost well in these months have a hoodie on, which means it's like you kind of have to realize the hair stops there. But yeah, real easy to forget. I see what you did. Why, thank you, Dolores Duck.
Oh, Dolorous Duck.
I said Dolores. Is it Dolores? Dolores?
Dolorous. That's an English word, but okay. First of
I
all,
know, but I thought it was a fun spelling of Dolores,
Dolores
like a play
Duck.
on
Dolores
the name.
Duck is adorable and suggests at least one type of animal universe, but then Dolorous Duck, suggests an entirely different one, an Old West style animal universe. Did you hear? Dolorous Duck is in town again. And then, Sheriff Turtle grabs the gun belt down from the wall. Well,
What? And I just looked it up because I was like, wait, like that would mean like sad, basically, right? That doesn't sound like someone you got to be worried about. It's
it doesn't. It's just the pronunciation. It's just the rhythm of it.
gotcha. Okay, I was like,
Yeah,
that would be like, oh, someone go be ready to hug.
yeah. By the way, are people in our chat are they in on John Waters? Like, if I say crybaby, is that going to mean a thing to them?
I'm trying to figure out if it means a thing to me.
John Waters, good morning, Baltimore.
Okay.
Jonathan's a big fan for obvious reasons.
Okay, but what?
Well, I was thinking like Dolorous Duck could mean something different, in a John Waters type way.
Um, oh, nice.
That's right,
Oh, how
Dolorous Ed.
fun.
I forgot about Dolorous Ed.
He's sad because his crimes weigh on him. Okay, fair play. Fair play, Juno. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah.
Jonathan, you? Baltimore's native son? And when I say that, I was referring to John Waters.
Okay, so are we going with Ngdák, or are we going to Ngdák it up and...
Kick it up, Ngdák.
Well, we could give it a vowel at the beginning. We could give it an opening syllable if we wanted something a little bit more so it doesn't start with an N in our file names, so that way you could feel. I may have named a language just so I could finally have a Y language, and I do.
Yeah. Jesse
I
and
have X, Y, and Z covered now.
Jesse and I actually went, what was the name of that museum in Baltimore where they had the kind of weird stuff?
Oh. You mean the sculptures? It
Yeah.
was some sort of art museum, but it
And
was
we
like
didn't-
it wasn't like an art museum. It was like a local art celebration.
Yeah. Well, like there was a museum that we could have gone into. We just didn't because you had to pay money to do that. And we
Right,
didn't really
but
have
like
time.
I want to make it clear that it's not like if you think of like the Philadelphia Art Museum or
Oh,
something
it's like a
that.
counterculture
It's
museum.
it's
Yeah.
like celebrating local artists and some really cool things they do. And outside they have a whole little park garden area that has sculptures, including a giant bird. That
Yeah.
we definitely got pictures
Oh, yeah.
next to.
Anyway, like, yeah, so like in the gift shop, for example, John Waters, there's like a little video and he's giving a message about the museum and they're playing music from like Hairspray and things like that. Anyway, yeah, just so John Waters has made a career out of doing very strange, very dark B movies that also are, heavily LGBTQ plus. And like just some of the things he's done, it's just like, I do not like this, but it's definitely weird. It's so. Ooh.
Oh, well, I don't personally have a Q language. However, David and I together, well, personally,
Yeah.
Together, we have a collaborative Q language. It's not in my list of personal conlangs that are just mine. It was actually a language we did for a project. So if you put all of ours together, we are getting darn close to having the whole alphabet covered.
Yeah.
Which is kind of exciting for me. I don't know why.
Because like I mean, we each have a Z. I have an X. We have a Q together. Is there anything we don't have?
Do we have a no? Jadavier filled that for the J.
For the J. H.
But yeah,
Cute stuff.
we do have. Put together. I think now I kind of just want to go back to that. I made a spreadsheet when creating Jadavier to make sure I was hitting roots and to count how many roots came from each language. And it is, no, it's not quite in alphabetical order because it's by folder in alphabetical order. And so I'm opening that just to see if we actually have.
What about P?
Give me a moment. I'm trying to open the document. We may, how weird would that, how about we name this language Ngdák? Okay, I'm still waiting for it to open. It's thinking. It's thinking.
John, that's so then Zidane, the first version of Zidane, that's a Z.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Jonathan. If Ngdák starts with an Engma, then Jwadi starts with an Ej. The best thing to start with.
Just like Shilar.
And I actually have VWXYZ covered because I got Vuela Wachtinato.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Goodness, how long is this taking to open?
So help me, Magpie.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Okay, we may not actually have a P.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because we have a project name. So we have a folder, but I don't think we have an actual.
Yeah. Like the closest that you could get is Proto-Plains, which is the proto-language for Dothraki and Lazarene. It's like if you count Proto, but that's kind of a weaselly one, so you could get rid of it and say then the language is Plains, but that is more of an English name for it.
It's totally an English name, David.
Yeah.
Well.
Pell.
Indeed, David. How do we have all these other ones? Oh my gosh, also together, David, we have Zimini.
Oh, of course, Zemini, yeah. I don't know how we missed that.
Man. We do just have an episode 25 proto from LangTime Chat. That was one of our...
Holy smoke. P, of all things.
I think that literally is the one we're missing.
Wow. And like, I don't think you can get P in this language. That word, like the bat language. Like, I think it shows up in certain circumstances, but you couldn't get it initially.
SRQ. Yeah, the other one. Okay, one other that David, I think we're missing, and this could be the language for it, is C.
No, Chicopsa.
Oh my gosh.
Also Castathan.
Oh my God. They're in folders, so I skipped over it because it's hard to do the folders.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Of
course we have.
Don't forget my color language.
It doesn't count because color is an English word. I'm not counting it. Otherwise, we have proto, and we're done with P.
Yeah.
Now I'm like...
Proto-Plains is really the closest marginal.
I have a language I'm working on. I'm going to now have to make it start with a P.
Mm-hmm.
I'll figure that out. It doesn't have a language name yet. We're gonna make it happen.
And I forget. I don't know if you missed this, George, but we together we have like at least 2 languages that start with X.
And more, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I saw another one on yours. But anyway, okay. Moving on. We will get a P language at some point, if through no other means by me naming my new language.
Oh, Matisse, that's a wonderful idea.
Xylophonic.
Whoa. Because that, like, you could do that. Let me ask you, since you have experience with this, how common is it to hit 4 notes at once?
If you're playing with 2, like double 2,
Yeah.
that's a chord, yeah.
So, but that's the max, right? You don't do more than that.
No, I've never personally played with 3 mallets in one hand, and I would say in general, 2 per hand is where you're going to get your best control.
Okay.
And so 4, yeah, but yeah, you can absolutely do 4.
Wow, Jesse, it sounds so jazzy.
I mean, yeah, it sure.
Wow. And that's true, Bib. I have a language that is literally called X.
X, and then how do you pronounce the X in XOQI?
Hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's...
That's what I thought, but I
yeah.
didn't want to like take a stab at it and miss it. And then I have Hiram.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would say it's to be expected that most folk are not familiar with my back catalog. In fact, not even the bulk of my front catalog, to be honest. But Bib has always been a fan, so it's something that I don't think that I have appreciated enough publicly, but I do.
Another thing, we never actually named the sketches from Residuum. I bet we would have a P name in there if we actually named them. Otherwise, we just called them by the labels that Robert needed because they were the labels to fit in the narrative.
Dang.
And so...
one of them could be Punk. Oh. But absolutely 100% true. Doesn't need to be Punk. I'm sorry.
As they are, their names like Desert.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back, now that we have sufficiently side railed.
I don't have so you have 2 things weighing on this decision. On the one hand, trying to make every language start with a different Roman character so that people who are potentially fans of the game or whatever don't get confused. But on the other hand, honoring no group death at KobeCon.
Well, like somebody else had commented this, and I forget who at this point, because there's been so much discussion, so I apologize, and you can shout out in comments that this was you. Something like Nulisu and Ngdák are not likely to be confused. If we were to name this language Nulitis, we would have a problem because all of us have gotten Nulitis and Nulisu confused at some point. So it's like that's a problem. But having Ngdák as the opening, like you're not going to look at that and be like, oh, that's the beavers, right?
Oh my God, and we have the perfect setup for this. Because Ngdák is a root, right?
Yeah.
And so like that could be the name of the language. But for it to actually be a word in the language, it falls into one of the noun classes.
Sure. Sure.
Oh, this is a really good idea.
And
Yep.
then Madeline will forever be encoded into the name.
All right.
And that's exciting.
All right. Here we go. Wait, no, not there. Here. And edit. Dun, dun, dun.
Hooray. Oh, should I? Did you? No, wait. We need to wait till we're done.
Yeah, we'll wait
where you
till we're
close
done with
it
the
out.
stream, and yeah.
Okay.
And then, is it you that has the power to be able to change it on Lexergy?
Oh, I think I can. Okay. Let me go to this Lexergy link. Yeah.
Okay. And then, wait.
All right. If all has gone well, it is now updated.
And it is also now updated on Discord. Dun, dun, dun.
Yay!
Oh, I also just saw a magpie posted a Siberian flying squirrel. That is one good animal.
Oh, I forgot to show you. There was like a really large bird the other day just outside my window, and I took a picture, and then
Really?
I forgot to show you. There it was.
Oh, now everybody will get to see too.
But like, the picture doesn't really stress how big it was. It looked so much bigger, and then I took the picture, and I was like, "Oh, it just looks like a bird."
What is
But
it?
it looks so
Is
much
it
bigger.
ravens that are the bigger ones?
Ravens are bigger than crows, and so this is a crow. It's not.
All right.
It's not that big, but it was just a black bird, and it was like just sitting there, waiting for me, and it was so exciting. Yeah, Jonathan, as I was looking through mine, I was like, wow, I've got several languages that start with G. It's kind of a random letter to have. And I was also looking at my larger Woktinato family. From that, I'm going to get another V, 2 O's, 2 U's, a B, and an L, but not any P's, unless I name one of the Creoles with a P.
All right. Well, this really makes me happy because, of course, I think I mentioned previously that when we were looking ahead to the bat language, I kind of felt myself like I didn't really have any strong ideas for it, and then suddenly there was no good group death at Copicon, which then shortened to NGDAK, and I'm like. And suddenly I had like at least a phonological idea for the bat language. And so this is good stuff. I really like this. Okay. And also we need to sorry, I for some reason I found myself back at the noun section, and I see that these are still here kind of often in no man's land because they haven't been incorporated.
Into words.
Yeah. And really with the way that this has ended up working out, it really is more of a behind the scenes thing than something that you would need to read in a grammar.
need to read in a grammar, but as the documenter, I kind of want to put it as a footnote anyway, David, because if we're like, wait, what did we need to type into Lexergy? We need this, we need it encoded somewhere. Or I guess I could do that little grammaticalization thing.
Two classes.
Here, I'll make a grammaticalization section.
Oh, okay.
Because we've done that at the end of sound changes
Sure.
before. We've got a lot of stuff down here. I don't know.
Patrick, I know what time zone you're in. No excuse. Takvamir is a really cool name. It's hard because, like, with language names, especially when you just hear them, they don't mean anything, right? It's just the sound of it. And that language name, Takvamir, it just sounds like adventure. It's really cool. Nakachti, on the other hand, I always have to think about pronouncing that because I always want to say Nakachi. And then it's like, no, there's a T in there and not where you think it is.
What is, I think we have it up here in notes. Where? Okay, I'm going to copy
Thank
that
you, Jake.
too.
That's where, honestly, if there was a language called that and Bibleridian did it, I'd be like, sign me up. Many other conlangers doing that. Don't know.
Okay, I'm just going to copy this whole thing and then take what I need because my brain is not holding information today.
Did you copy those? Like, can I delete them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, and this comes from
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Go.
There we go.
and do to hang. Okay. Okay, now classes. We've got
Miles still has the, I'm sorry, not Miles. Patrick still has the NF9ZF after his name. And every time I see it, it looks like not safe for work, but pronounced in a really interesting way. Not Faith 9 Zurf. I'm dragging a little bit, so I want to throw up a poll. Just started with that and see what people think. Non-binding. Non-binding.
Okay, now if you go to page 27, nice and big, we have a new section.
Excited. Ooh. Huh. Tiny little asterisks.
All right, I'll change the whole thing.
No, I mean,
I'll have to make it smaller though, because it won't
There's a
fit. Oh my god, it
lot.
totally fits. Look how small these asterisks are. Oh, because I didn't change the font size yet. Okay. Get ready. I'm going to just make that 24. There we go. We'll do one less. I like 27. Okay. Now there's big asterisks.
Nice.
And do you see the little bullets?
I sure do. There are little bats.
But I also think that means we can get rid of that. We've already discussed all of this. We've got coded somewhere that this is a VSO language, right? We put that somewhere?
Oh, golly gee. Somebody just asked, should we be seeing something other than Lexergy right now? Sorry.
Yeah, we have VSO up here, so we can take that out.
You know what would be so cool? Imagine if we had a producer and all they did was they just had OBS and they just put stuff up on screen based on what we were saying. It'd be so cool. Dang, you look really pretty in the video, Jess.
Me?
Yeah, you sure do.
I don't look like I'm
You got to turn the other
floating
way.
off.
No. All right. Ooh, by the way, I went over to Lexergy, and yeah, the language name took over there.
Excellent.
All right.
So you know what's really fun is when you get tickets to an event that's not where you actually live, and then they're like, "Oh, you must be interested in this location," and they start sending you events that are in this location that you know you're there for a time, but
Yeah.
not the rest of the time. Starting to get a lot of those. I'll turn notifications off after the events, but until then I want them on because if there's something that's pertinent,
Sure.
I want to know.
Absolutely.
But
All right.
anyway.
Well, Jesse, we named our language. We came up with our grammaticalization section. We're going to have to talk about verbs.
I normally like verbs, but today we haven't talked about demonstratives.
I know.
That could be a vote.
What?
Demonstratives. Poll.
Sure. And we could actually start our discussion of demonstratives next week and kick it off with a vote. Yeah.
Just so that way, because I don't want to have a poll about verbs yet. We only have like 30 minutes left of the stream.
No.
And I
know.
don't want to so I'd rather just say, yeah, let's vote on demonstratives so we can get that set.
then
But yeah,
talk
let's
about
talk
verbs.
about verbs.
Yeah. All right, so near versus far. It's one thing. Near versus semi-near versus far. And then we should say, are these going to be determiners versus modifiers? Because I can see it going either way.
So stay grammar, Aaron. So good that you were here. have a good sleep. Oh, Juno has to go as well. Bye, Juno.
By the way, unlucky 8. I see ya, Hilda. Oh. Okay. What and the question about determiners versus modifiers is both a question of placement and a question of agreement. I'm assuming the determiner variant will not agree.
We have a random, look at this. I just highlighted the random little F. I'm going to delete it. I just wanted you to see it.
By F.
It's gone. I've deleted F.
Type F in chat. To mourn.
There we go. I did. Has anyone read the book? Just a second. I've got to look it up now because I don't remember the title. So this is a fun. Has anyone read the book whose title I can't remember? Well, have you? Okay. And I'm going to type it. Has anyone read this book besides me? I've read it. And it's LMNOP. And the story in letters, it is like a story told through letters, as in like writing letters. But it's also a story in letters in the sense that it's like this person lives in an area, like on an island, where like people are very superstitious about things, as humans often are. And like there's a statue in town, and it's like got a whole little inscription. Letters start falling off the statue, and people get so superstitious about it that as letters fall off, they make it illegal to use those letters anymore. And so like as you're reading this novel, like, okay, you can't use an X anymore. And so you either have to come up with a new word or figure out a way to spell it that doesn't use an X. And so it's like, it starts with sort of like smaller letters that you're not as concerned about. But of course, by the end, you're hitting like certain vowels can't be used anymore. And so it's like you're trying to keep up with reading, and it's like a challenging gameplay kind of thing for your brain as you're like reading things that the letters aren't being used anymore. But also like, it's a very interesting book. I found it interesting enough that I like flew through it. Like I think I read it in like a day and a half. Just because I also had to teach, so I had to take time off from reading. But anyway, it was also just very interesting because it sort of the human way of thinking, where it's like you get so convinced that something is real. Yeah. So it says things about society and belief systems that ought to be questioned. But it also is a linguistic oddity of a thing to think about. How do you do this without using certain letters? It's really fun.
Two things. One, of course, there is a real world reflex of this, in that there is a linguistic feature called taboo replacement, which does exist, where let's say the way it's usually presented is somebody who is royalty dies, and their name is associated with it comes from a natural element, like
grass.
Yeah, grass, tree, or something like that. And people en masse stop using that word and instead have to come up with a replacement for that word, hence taboo replacement. That's one thing. But the other thing is that the idea, or the thrust of this is an Oedipist structure. So the book is. The Oedipists were French, and they were the ones who came up with some of the wacky ideas. It was early 20th century. Like they came up. I think the most famous idea of theirs was writing an entire book without using the letter E, which is quite a hard thing to do in French.
I think they were just talking about that one. Avoid Miles had said it. Yeah, Miles. And it's been translated into English also without an E.
Yeah. Anyway, so that kind of movement, or I don't know if it's a school or whatever, they were known as the Oulipists. And it is something that people know about, a person that I'm not going to name.
But anyway, okay.
Do you have any other specific ideas for demonstratives, like to include here?
It feels like the bottom one is a separate distinction because it's like the number of distinctions made versus where they come from or how they're used grammatically. Like it feels like this is a 1A, 2A, 1B, 2B kind of situation.
Oh, sure.
Okay. One other option that I don't think we've used in our languages, at least not for LangTime, is sort of like the German option where it's like you just have a demonstrative, like diese Frau,
Yeah.
and it's like this or that, like you don't have a das form that means this, it turns it into that. I'm trying to.
Would that work with this language if we don't also have definite articles?
Interesting. Because you can kind of use
Essentially,
die Frau to kind of pull it to this woman, and then diese Frau can be used. Yeah.
because essentially then, like, wouldn't it just be a definite article?
Well, depending on, there are definitely.
Oh, I have a way. I have a way we can rescue this. Okay, so we could have that, and then like. So
Actually, that's a just a second. Mate's question, because Mate's is much better with German than I am. I, in my head, define jene differently, not as a demonstrative. And linguistically speaking, usually German is classified as a no distinction demonstrative language. And so I feel like German in general is not. Dialects can, of course, have distinctions. But yeah, I think. So anyway, yeah, if Mateus could comment on how that's used in German more frequently. A demonstrative pronoun, okay. Yeah, because you don't normally use it. Like, I'm just like in my head trying to, and it's like, yeah, no, I wouldn't put that in front of a noun, I don't think. And so anyway, yeah, I think it is different from German to Yiddish. Very interesting. Okay. Gosh, these little things that it's like you think you know something in a language, and then the next thing it's like, oh my God. That just broke my brain.
Is that related to yawn in English?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm doing a Wiktionary deep dive.
Oh, das hier and
It is
das da.
cognate with jener. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. And yeah, in the usage examples in German, like Mateus had said, there you see them as pronouns. And then it goes on to say like it's very rare in speech, and in colloquial speech, it is almost completely avoided by many speakers.
Oh, well, that is interesting. Bibleridian says that it's related to the definite N suffix in the Scandinavian languages. In other words, like, it'd probably be like, D or whatever, noun plus yang. And then the Y is kind of weak, and so it.
Wow. Oh gosh, I love definite articles double as this, these. Okay. Oh, and Jonathan, when you say it depends on stress, does that mean like if it's sort of unstressed, it just is like an article, but if it's stressed, you interpret it as meaning like this one? It's very.
I've thrown down some C and D options, but like any. So, like, something like.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're actually doing things, right?
Sorry, but like this one here, it makes me think, okay, we could do that. But then, like, why wouldn't they use this without this? In which case, it again kind of becomes a definite article.
Have we talked about definiteness yet? We have the singulative, but we haven't talked about definiteness. Is that correct?
Yeah, like essentially definiteness wouldn't be specified. Like it wouldn't, there wouldn't be anything to specifically do.
But 100%, a language like ancient Greek, I don't know what modern Greek does. Ancient Greek, though, you absolutely had, for a demonstrative, you had to use the definite article as well. And so this could be effectively like option D could be a definite that pairs with the demonstrative to create a demonstrative together. Like, all of my Greek words are failing me right now. And so I'm sorry I can't give you a better example. But like if you wanted to say this man, you had to do like this man. You couldn't just say this man.
Right, but we don't have a the.
Effectively, this would be saying we could, though. We just haven't discussed it yet.
When we had an initial discussion, we were like, well, let's only do one article. Let's only do like this singulative article.
But this one could be an older definite article that fell out of use, except it was like fossilized in the demonstrative use, and it just like on its own fell out of use.
I guess. Why would it though?
Because they didn't like it. Bats were like, this is too much. These vowels got lengthened, and suddenly everything felt too long to say, and they're like, let's drop what we can. Oh, that was my stomach. But anyway, we can absolutely I have an idea.
Okay.
Just a second. It's taking a minute to form. I do apologize. Okay. Oh, no, it may be too wild.
Oh, now I'm interested. Time for Jesse's too wild idea.
And I'm struggling to put it into words with, you know, where my brain is today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so old system
Go to where you're typing. Here we
with
go.
demonstratives whose forms kind of cohered with the old noun classes. So their forms like kind of matched, indexed. There, reference. I think that's the fancy way of saying that. They didn't flag them because flag would be case marking.
Mm-hmm.
They indexed. Okay. And so modern forms now have a four-way distinction, but really it's based on a two-way old distinction, whereby flying, flying or walking, nouns, you would distinguish them as high or low, versus big, small would be here, there. So the forms that the demonstratives actually took were based on whether they were like flying or walking nouns. There's motion, and then things were distinguished as being high or low, and you know, like relative to the flying and walking space. Versus big or small was just like it's either, you know, wherever you are, it's either close to you or far away.
Yeah.
But it could be an interesting system where it looks like there's actually a four-way distinction in demonstrative, but if you break it down, it's really only close to you or far from you. But like if you're, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if you're walking on the ground, something flying would be high, versus if you're flying, it may actually be lower than you. And so anyway, this was sort of like a way to sort of distinguish relative to your flying area versus standing area.
Yeah. Yeah, this could work. Does it work enough that we abandon everything else and there's no vote?
On the fly, Miles. The fly. For the flying class nouns.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this kind of kills the vote, Jess.
Well, I apologize. I didn't mean to kill the vote.
Yeah.
You can't spell out of control without cool. Or without colon of trout. Absolutely. Love it. So basically, we're going to put a poll up that's, do you want vote 1 or vote 2? But if you read the text carefully, you're going to realize they both say the same things.
No. Okay. There is still a vote here. There is still a vote here. I'm going to have to. This is going to be hard because it's conceptual. We at least have the words for big and small.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe instead of talking about verbs, we come up with forms for high and low. But essentially, this is going to be, the poll is going to be this. It's going to be determiners versus adjectives.
Okay.
And essentially what we're going to have, determiners, smaller smaller, but occupy the same slot as singulative, particle, adjectives, more complex, but identifiably adjectives come last. And so what it's going to come down to is we need to come up with these could potentially look like so that people could see them and judge based on the sound of it.
So I was also laughing at some of the comments going on.
Some of our comments, laughing at them?
Yeah, so Jonathan says release a poll where one option is what Jesse described and the other option is Jesse's preference. And Miles said, or two options, Jesse's choice and see above. Oh, much love to you all. Thank you.
Okay, so, but yeah, I think we can do this on stream. As a reminder, can you tell me what the protoforms are for big and small?
Big is U, pre-nasalized D, A, glottal stop, Ngdák.
Okay.
Small is Ihi, IHI.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to have high and low. Absolutely makes sense to have protoforms for these. And yeah, no, big and small should come last. So this is really hard. I'm gonna
Oh, I like this protoform.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop over to Lexergy. So we got that and that. Let me make sure that we're, yep, okay, good. See what happens if we throw a vowel. Okay, it doesn't know what to do with that. Yeah, it's just sandwiching them together.
Does it do that even if you don't have a space? Did we do something to protect against the three vowels?
No.
Okay.
We didn't do anything with hiatus at all.
Okay.
Because we decided we didn't want them in protoforms without considering that, well, maybe they'll show up anyway, so we should do something.
Listen, Proto-Tundra and Bat language are obviously linguistically relatives. They obviously derived from each other.
Okay. Interesting. Really interesting that due to where our sound changes kind of happen, that we end up with a long vowel in one and not in the other. It's because of where the kind of lengthening and condensing happens along the way. But that's good because this one is going to be the far one because it's small.
Okay.
So that's not too bad. Okay. Just throwing that on there. Maybe just throw up some forms. Like, by the way, I want to see if there's a difference if we put the space in. There's a huge difference if we put the space in.
Oh, what is that? Oh, sure is. So these need to like join together at a very early stage, I would think. Like they got smashed early on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay.
What happens if we change that to like the M, like a glottal stop?
Oh, you just want to,
I just want to see like
yeah.
what happens if it's non-nasal. Okay, so it just kind of sticks there.
Interesting. Let me see if that's the same if we just do like literally anything else.
How about H or R? Those would be, I think, good ones to test.
Yep, still got it. R. Yep. So
So are nasals really the only ones that do something kind of interesting?
I think we got to put a nasal in there, at least one.
We have MN and INGMA.
Yeah.
And nothing, like if we do, does anything change if you make it I or U? Whoa.
Yeah, so there's that.
That would be a lot of area for reduction in terms of, you know, as a form like this would grammaticalize, you would, I think, very easily see how that would get reduced.
Yeah. Well, like I just threw these forms in. Obviously, we've got lots of forms we can play with. Does by itself, does that feel like anything to you? Does it feel like high or low? Also, I will point out that we evidently still happily distinguish between words that begin with a vowel and words that begin with a glottal stop. So, like, they're different. Nothing happens to them at all.
I mean, I thought we were supposed to.
Okay.
Did you not?
No. No, and you know, it's fine. It makes sense.
But I mean, feels low if you're asking.
And all right, if we're gonna stick with that, do you like ung, or on better for low?
I like the M.
You like the M. And do you want to throw in an onset?
I mean, if you want the lowest of low, you just bum.
That's gonna end up being really long. It's gonna come out as bang.
No, I know. I didn't
yeah.
say that we should do it, but like.
Yeah.
Also, isn't this a form that's supposed to get grammaticalized? So isn't it supposed to reduce more than what the full form would be anyway?
There's gonna be two different types of reduction.
Okay. So no onset.
Okay. So we've got that. All right. High. If we want to get what's high to you? E or ooh?
Oh, I was thinking glottal stop. Ooh.
All right. Let's. It's gonna need a coda.
Okay. Ooh, what does a K do there? A K or a T, which was of course the adjective K or T in the protoform.
Oh boy. 我多啦，我爹he.
Wow. And if we take the glottal stop off, then it's just uotuola. Is that correct?
Yeah. I don't think that. Yeah.
All right. And if we do an A, it's tuola. Is that correct?
Yes.
Um, I mean, it's just going to be long. I don't know how to make this not long. Because the vowel thing that we've saddled ourselves with.
Yeah.
With an H, just UH, no onset. I know it's just going to be uohoela, I think, but that could be something that we could play with. It would feel less meaty. And then E would just give us iehoela or ahuela. The H coda does feel high to me, probably because the word high has an H in it. So if we wanted to do another ah, just so it's not a diphthong-y type thing, I don't know. Iehoela. I kind of like that though. Iehoela. Iehiehi. Iehiehi. Uohie. Uohiehi. Uohoela.
Iehola. Iehihi. All right. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Low, high. All right. So,
is that too silly though, having ihi and ich? What happens if you do the the awful k? We reduced it, so what happens with k?
that's true.
And it could be an u instead of an I, because that still reads i, u.
Let's see. Oh. Ehuola. Ehiehi.
Oh my God, we got a winner. That's it, David.
Yeah, right? Like,
yeah.
That's right?
That's it. That's it.
I don't understand why the vowel is short.
I don't care. That's it.
I know. I
because
know you don't.
It's because it lowers it because of the something effect. There is an effect that lowered vowels. Centralization.
Yeah, vowel centralization. But then now it's long.
And then I think we got rid of long mid vowels. Was that correct?
It geminated. The k geminates. And so then it's echo.
And then they decided that was,
Echola, which makes a lot of sense. And then it's just, echuola. Wow. Well done.
Yay.
Well done. Okay. All right. Now, here's where things get a little mousy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the forms, remember, like, if these are, like, if we're kind of treating these like adjectives, let me put these in here. Okay. All right, so then this is okay, we don't need that anymore.
Love you, Miles. You're absolutely right. I can only do things on my own schedule.
That's of course not a possibility. That. Okay, so here's just what they
Is the microphone picking up my tummy rumbles?
I don't know.
They're really loud. I am so counting down the minutes to end the stream so I can go eat because I'm so hungry. I'm going to have an apple in case anyone's curious. With some cashews and almonds. And like seriously, I'm over here like the sound. So if you hear me going, oh my goodness, that's me responding to my stomach being like, hey.
Okay, so interesting. No, that was it. All right, so if we kind of follow along, we ended up getting rid of these he endings with these. Mm-hmm. And so this would actually come out as amye. Mm-hmm. This one would come out as hie. All right. Mm-hmm. Ngdák would probably stay. Ehola would stay. Mm-hmm. And so this is what I actually see. All right. Option A. Adjectival demonstratives. We have night class is and I believe the is the night class, right?
Yes.
Ngdák. Proximal versus distal. Of course it's wrong. Of course it's wrong. Of course it's wrong.
You're going to see the screen jump down. Part of the notes from my little note got deleted, so I'm just kind of replicating the idea so that way the sentence is complete.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Option B. Determiner demonstratives. And let me know if this is how you understood it. I just want to near. Now we have big is okay. So hold on. Okay, don't worry. These are going to change. Okay, near, above, and then near, below. All right, and then far above. Okay, and now
Those will get reduced up quite a bit.
that's my take on reducing them. What do you think?
I didn't know what you were going to do with that last one, and so I didn't know if we were going to end up keeping the ah or do like me or, mie but high tone
I was
because it's like,
basically I was feeling out and it was like, what gets the biggest hit here?
and in this language the ahs are meant to be heavy, and so it makes
Yeah.
sense to keep them. Yeah.
Yeah. And so these, as you can see, we have reduced it to a proximal distal distinction, and now it agrees in gender. These, no agreement, and we have a four-way system that's radically reduced.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Okay.
And it's absolutely the way I was thinking through that it would all have been an original two-way distinction. It's just like as things got combined in ways because these nouns were taking this two-way distinction and these nouns were taking this two-way distinction, the classes are collapsing, things came together, and you end up with what looks like potentially a four-way distinction that really at its core was just a two-way distinction.
My goodness. So there you have it. Once again, Jesse, who is not having the best day, came up with something unbelievably brilliant.
Thank you.
And so I think nobody's going to disagree with me that the MVP for today's stream is Jesse. Congratulations!
What do I get? What do I get? He's going somewhere. Oh my God. Thank you. I love that I'm graduating with this. Woo!
I'm really excited about this.
Oh, people can't see the bottom half of option B. Can you scroll up in the document?
Sure thing. And I won't know if I have a preference for this for either option until the poll finishes next week.
And
And then I'll know real quick how I feel about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, until then, thank you all for being here. Stay grammar. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday.
Right on. Bye, everybody.
Bye.